It's that time of the month. No, I'm postmenopausal. It's not periods. It's week 61 of my GLP-1 health journey after menopause. It's time for my monthly check-in. Wow. What is happening? Somehow a lot and not that much at the same time. Let's do a monthly update and stick around to the end for my NSVs. Okay, let's go. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby. I have been sharing my GLP-1 weight loss journey after menopause for the last year and a couple months. I'm 57 years old, and as of last month, I was down 35 pounds. I'll get into my weigh-in for this month in just a few minutes. I'm currently on 7.5 milligrams of Zepbound, and that's still working well, so no plans to change my dose. I'm getting Zepbound through Lilly Direct. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a psychologist and I make my living as a therapist, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not your therapist. So this is just me sharing my experience with you. And just remember to always talk to your own doctors, your own healthcare providers when you're figuring out what is best for you. The first question I think people think of with like a monthly check-in is, did I lose any weight? And I'm just going to start there, even though there's way more to it than just the number on the scale. My starting weight was 210.1 pounds. That was like 14 months ago. Last month, my weight was 175, so I was down about 35 pounds. And this month, my weight is 171.6. So I lost 3.4 pounds this month. That's actually right on track for me. I have been losing on average about 2/3 a pound a week. Normal weight loss is between 1/2 pound and 2 pounds a week. So I am on the slow end of normal, and that's just my body. So this is a good month for me. It's so close to 170. I'm at 171.6. And there was a point somewhere in the month where my weight was 170. So I've been saying like, oh, I've lost 40 pounds. Not totally accurate. As of my weigh-in this morning, I'm down, 38.4 pounds. But when I saw that 170, I was kind of like, woo, 40 pounds. And then my weight went back up again. You know, that's what it does. So I mentioned that there's a lot more to my update than just the number on the scale, because I've been tracking my body composition on my Hume Body Pod. Thanks to Hume for sponsoring this part of the episode. The Hume Body Pod is a body analyzer. It is basically like an in-body scanner, if you've seen those at gyms or fitness centers, and it gives you feedback on dozens of different bodily metrics. And then it takes all those and it breaks it down for you in charts and in humanoid diagrams, so you can see what's changing over time besides just your weight. Lean mass is so important to maintain as we age. It's basically the engine of our metabolisms. It helps protect bone density, it helps protect long-term health as you age, like strength and balance, things like that that tend to decline as we age. And also maintaining your lean mass just helps keep your metabolism up. I have been strength training and really focused on eating protein and lifting weights and trying to maintain my lean mass throughout this journey. Let's go over some of the changes overall in my lean mass and my fat mass. My body fat percentage last month was 35%, and it scooched down ever so slightly to 34.8% this month. That's not a huge change, but it's only been a month. If we look at where I started 14 months ago, my weight was 210.1 pounds, and my current weight now is 171.6. My body fat percentage has reduced from 38%, which was in the high range, to 34.8%, which is still in the high range. And my body fat mass has gone down 20 pounds, still in the very high range this whole time. And my lean mass has gone down 10 pounds, which initially used to really concern me. And then I talked to my doctor about it, and it was really funny because she's really deadpan and she doesn't sugarcoat anything. She's just like really medical. So when I was asking her, like, in weight training, I'm so much stronger than I used to be. Why am I losing lean mass? And she was just like, you're smaller, you've lost water, you're stronger, the body doesn't really gain muscle in a calorie deficit, it's really hard, and you're losing fat. Your muscles haven't shrunk and the existing muscle is stronger. She said something like that, and I was like, brilliant, that's music to my ears. So I'm not gonna fret about it looking like my lean mass is in trouble going from high to standard. I know that I am so much stronger than I used to be. This is fun. Check this out. So on the left, I've got my body fat percentage in February and in March. And then on the right, it's my muscles in pounds in February and March. So on the left-hand side, you can see that my body fat percentage decreased a little bit, like about a percentage point down in my right leg and my left leg. And just a few, like a fraction of a percentage point down in my arms and a full percentage point down in my trunk. So that's really nice to see. My whole goal is to lose fat more than weight. And then look over on the right, and it's a little bit more mixed. My right arm goes from 5.4 pounds to 5.5 pounds, but then the left arm goes down 1/10 of a pound. So, I don't know if that's a measurement error or what. Like, look at my left leg. My right leg went up and my left leg went down. In general, the trend is fat's going down and lean mass is, I think it's safe to say, staying the same. Woohoo! If you're interested in trying out the Hume Body Pod for yourself, I have a discount code below, BOBBI, Bobby, where you can get a discount stacked on top of whatever specials they're already running to get an even better price on it. I will leave the link in the description below. Thanks again, Hume, for sponsoring this part of the episode. I really enjoy collaborating with them because I am really getting a lot out of the Body Pod information. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm kind of preoccupied with my visceral fat index score. Visceral fat is that deep fat that wraps around our internal organs, and it's considered the dangerous fat because it's metabolically active and associated with a higher risk of inflammatory processes, diabetes, dementia, cardiovascular disease. We all have visceral fat. Having some is important because it cushions our organs, but having too much is when it becomes problematic. So there's this visceral fat index score, and it goes from 1 to 59. And when I started my journey 14 months ago, I was at 17. So elevated, but not like crazy elevated. And it's steadily gone down over the past year and some months. And now it's hovered at 13 for months and months and months. And I'm waiting to get to 12 because that's the normal range. And it's still at 13 this month. So I think I'm a little bit over-focused on it, as if somehow my health is going to magically transform when it goes down to 12. I feel really healthy, so I think I need to just like let that score do what it's going to do. But for what it's worth, it's still hovering at 13. And my BMI is right now just over in the overweight range. So I think if I lose like a few more pounds, my BMI, which I know is a problematic metric, but again, for what it's worth, if I lose a few more pounds, my BMI will be in the normal range. If you're liking this video, please remember to hit like, subscribe to my channel, share it with people you think might be interested in it. And if you really can't get enough, oops, my light came unplugged. If you really can't get enough, consider signing up for my email newsletter. I'll put the link in the description below. I send an email every 2 weeks, and it's just a place where I can get a little more personal, share some behind the scenes stuff, give you little sneak peeks into what's going on. And yeah, my printer's freaking out. Nobody else is home. What is it doing? Can you hear that? Oh my God. Okay, really? I will not bombard you. Oh my God, what are you doing? With emails? My printer is possessed. I will not bombard you with emails, but it is a really nice way to stay in touch. Okay, I mentioned non-scale victories. So last month I was talking about how for the first time in a long time, I started to notice that my clothes were fitting differently. And that has continued at a faster pace than it has before. I'm now wearing a lot of mediums, which I haven't done in forever. In fact, I am selling some larges of things on Poshmark and buying a lot of times the exact same clothes on Poshmark, but in size medium. because I don't want to pay full price. Another non-scale victory is, even though it's early March when I'm filming this, we had an uncharacteristically warm several days, and it was in the 80s, and I was babysitting my 6-year-old granddaughter. We were playing outside with her neighbor friends, so I had shorts on. Now, this is the first time I've worn shorts in a really long time, and it's not because I was self-conscious or, didn't want to show my legs to the world. I honestly don't care. It was the chafe, right? It was the rubbing was really uncomfortable, and they don't do that now. It's amazing. It's not that they don't touch, they totally touch, but it's just not that really hard rubbing of having larger legs that I used to have. So that was a nice win because I have some shorts that I really like, and it gets hot here in North Carolina. Another non-scale victory is that I finally made a personal trainer appointment. It's something I've been saying that I would do, that I've been wanting to do for months. I remember an episode from maybe last November, so that was 4 months ago, saying, oh, I'm gonna do it. I just, maybe in the new year, because so much was going on with my grandbaby being born and the holidays. So I was like, it's a New Year's thing. Well, now it's March, but I made the appointment. And it's not for a couple weeks, but I'm really excited. It's at my gym. I just feel like I need some accountability and some fresh eyes on my strength workouts because I've been strength training just on my own for a little over a year, and it wasn't new to me, so I kind of knew, enough of the basics to do some basic strength training, but I feel like I want a professional to guide me now, especially because I've been hiking more and I'm planning on backpacking, and I feel like doing some balance and some mobility and strength training around things like my ankles for hiking, around rocks and roots and stuff, and just stuff that will be helpful for backpacking. So I will definitely keep you posted on that. This isn't a non-scale victory so much, but it's something I feel good about. I switched to kind of a dumb watch instead of a smartwatch. I've been wearing an Apple Watch for years. I really like the Apple Watch. I like closing my rings. I like how it does my steps and my heart rate, and you can program workouts and see how you're doing in your workouts. So it wasn't any dissatisfaction with the Apple Watch itself. It was more that I've been doing a little bit of digital downsizing, trying not to be so connected all the time, and trying to get a little bit more away from big tech. I cannot give up everything Apple. I have a Mac, I have an iPhone, Stepping away from a really smart watch feels kind of liberating. I've hiked a few times with this watch, and it does have a step tracker. I don't keep it right up on the screen, I just look at it when the hike is over. But I noticed that I kept by habit looking down to see, how far have I gone? Have I gone 3 miles yet? How about now? How about now? I used to do that with my Apple Watch. And now I'm out there and I'll look down by habit and I'll be like, oh yeah, I can't tell. I don't know how far I've hiked. I'm just gonna hike my hike. And it is so freeing to not feel the call of that data that isn't necessary. But when it's there, I gotta have it. So I think this is cute. It's a Casio and it does more than I've even explored. Like I said, there's the pedometer on it, and then, it's got the time, it's got a stopwatch, all that stuff. So yeah, it's changed my fitness journey because it's made it just a little bit more organic and not so tied to, let me get this number of steps, or, how far have I gone, or what's my heart rate right now. I'm just monitoring my heart rate by, can I carry on a conversation? And that's good enough. I don't always need to have all the information that's possible to have. One more non-scale victory-ish thing that is just something that I said I'd keep you posted on. Throughout this whole journey, my cholesterol has been high, and it hasn't really come down significantly on a GLP-1, a little bit, but it's been too high. My doctor sent me for a cardiac scan, and I was happy to find out I have 0 calcification in my heart, and so she does not want to put me on cholesterol meds. And she said, just continue what you're doing with, diet and exercise, and we'll monitor it. I was happy to hear that my heart appears healthy. I would have been happy to go on meds if I needed them. I know they're really effective, but one less med is also fine with me. Today, I took about a 30 or 40 minute walk on my lunch break with a 15-pound backpack on, and that's the heaviest I've worn so far. So I kept it short, and it felt fine. It was easier than when I first started with the 10-pound backpack. That's definitely a non-scale victory, is that I am stronger, I can tell. Overall, this month has been a good one. I've been hiking a lot. I got to visit my new grandbaby in Wisconsin. The weather has been weirdly warm, which has meant lots of outdoor time. My motivation was kind of waning last month, and I would say that it's kind of back to baseline where it's not amazing, like I can't wait to do all the healthy things that I know are good for me, but at least I don't feel like I have to drag myself to make healthy meals or get exercise. It's been worse. If that doesn't sound good, just bear in mind that a big part of me just wants to live on the couch. So the fact that I'm able to stay active without devoting huge amounts of energy to pushing myself out the door is a triumph. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.